I'm the branch manager for the downtown branch of the Santa Cruz Public Libraries. I've been here since November of 2014. Prior to that, I had 10 years library experience and been a part of 2 new library builds and 2 library remodels. The presence of asbestos in the building is of great concern both to staff and members of the public that are aware of it. As long as it's undisturbed, it's okay, but in 1989, after the earthquake, they did an asbestos abatement in this building. All the columns throughout our facility weren't sealed properly, so the asbestos seeped inside. And where there are cracks or if it's been disturbed in any way, they've resealed it with that tape. I know that anytime you see the 8-inch tiles in our building, those are asbestos tiles. There's an area of our upstairs meeting room where we store children's storytime supplies and furnishings where there is asbestos tile there. Infrastructure is probably our greatest concern, whether that be in the terms of plumbing, whether it be in the terms of restroom facilities, lighting capacity, or even electricity capacity. Our elevators regularly go out of service. We've had to close the building and or our restrooms due to breakages. All the pipes in the building are over 50 years old. We have 2 facilities. There are 2 fixtures in the women's restroom and 2 fixtures in the men's. It's woefully inadequate for the amount of usage that they get. They're closed regularly for repairs or breakage or misuse. And then on top of that, we close them every day for sanitization purposes. When we close our restrooms for sanitization, we make our ADA restroom available. We call it the ADA restroom, but in fact, it's not ADA compliant. The door is extremely heavy. The height of the toilet is set at a child's level, and the risers create some instability for people that actually need that additional support. We don't have air conditioning in the body of this building. There are 2 rooms that do, our server room, because we have to keep our computer equipment cool, and then our upstairs meeting room. The rest of the building runs strictly on ventilation. A couple summers ago, the news reported that come to your library as a cooling center, when in fact we were turning people away because it got so hot. We're really in close proximity to some high schools and some local charter schools that should really be feeding into our library. Currently upstairs in our children's room, there's a corner that's dedicated for teens. It's about 10 by 13, so 130 square feet. It's inadequate. There's something going on just about every day. Staff, our security force, and our building maintenance staff are really diligent about trying to intercept what we find, but sometimes we miss things or they happen in between. It used to be that you could go to a library and all you needed was a candle and a good book, or a lantern and a good book. But now people want to do more than just read a book. Everything runs on power. Our patrons need power. They're going to plug in or charge something. They're going to use their devices, and this is where they want to do it. We've got the free Wi-Fi for it, but we don't have the infrastructure for electrical drops. We've resorted to installing power drops all throughout the building. They are professionally done, but it causes problems in the fuse box. Libraries should be self-selective. You should be able to come in and decide how you're going to utilize us. But if we don't have everything available, then it's really only, we got books, we got DVDs, we got computers. There's so much more out there that we should be providing and could be providing. There should be a makerspace, there should be 3D printing, there should be coding classes, Lego robotics. Well, it's kind of up in the air right now. We formed a committee and they came up with 4 potential options for the renovation of this location or for the new library. The only fiscally feasible option was a relocation in a mixed-use facility. The benefit of that is that we wouldn't have to spend that $27 million to mitigate the existing building issues. We'd be able to create a brand new library. I'm pretty sure that we could fix everything wrong with this building with the money that we've got available. It just wouldn't leave anything left to make it a great library. We won't be able to repair our elevators. Additionally, we're going to have to kind of reduce the services that are offered. We won't have the capacity to renovate upstairs and downstairs, so it would just be the bottom floor. So our storage area, our library IT, our building maintenance staff would likely either be relocated or they'd be in the same facility with the same building issues. The big selling point from the mixed-use structure is going to be the shared costs. It'll make our money stretch so much further. If we're in partnership with another organization to create this construction, there'll be shared construction costs that'll really reduce the amount that our money has to go to for like the foundation and the walls and the studs. I see a place for other businesses, for housing, for low-income housing, and potentially for parking as well. Our primary role is to connect people with resources, to make referrals, to accurate information, and to really provide accessibility. There's folks out there that if we didn't provide computers for them, they would never have access to that. And our world has changed. Everything you need, you'll find on the computer these days. What I want to make is a brand new, sparkling 21st century library for the next generation.